Before you shame yourself for not doing anything, watch this. You woke up. You had plans. Big ones. Then you grabbed your phone, opened an app, closed it, opened another one, stared at the ceiling, felt nothing, and somehow 3 hours disappeared. And then you called yourself lazy. You're not lazy. You're running on a brain that's been systematically destroyed by the most sophisticated attention hijacking machines ever built. And today, I'm going to prove it. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside your head. Your brain runs on a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical. That's a myth. Dopamine is the wanting chemical. It drives you toward things. It creates motivation. Without it, you don't move. You don't start. You just sit there. Now here's the problem. Every time you scroll, swipe, tap, watch a reel, or check a notification, your brain fires a small dopamine hit. Small, but instant. Free. Zero effort. And your brain, which evolved to survive, not to thrive, starts to learn. Why work hard for a big reward when I can get 400 small ones in 10 minutes? So it recalibrates. It raises your baseline. Now normal life, eating, working, having a conversation, doesn't register. It's not exciting enough. Your brain has been repriced. That's not laziness. That's dopamine resistance. And you didn't stumble into it. You were engineered into it. Every app on your phone was designed by neuroscientists, behavioral psychologists, and addiction specialists, not to entertain you, but to keep you locked in as long as possible. Infinite scroll removes the natural stopping point your brain needs to disengage. Variable reward uses the same mechanic as slot machines. Sometimes the post is great. Sometimes it's nothing. Your brain can't stop checking because it never knows which one is coming. Autoplay removes the moment of decision, the one moment you might choose to stop. And here's what nobody tells you. The content itself is not the product. Your attention is the product. And your attention span is being sold right now to the highest bidder. So when you sit down to do something important and feel that wall of resistance, that fog, that inability to start, you're not weak. You're in withdrawal. Your brain is waiting for the next hit. And real work, reading, creating, thinking, doesn't deliver fast enough. If this is already clicking for you, if something in your chest just went, oh, hit subscribe. I make videos like this every week. No fluff, just the stuff they don't want you to know. Let's get specific about what this is costing you. It's not just productivity. Chronic overstimulation physically shrinks the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and impulse control. Studies show that heavy social media users experience measurable drops in attention span, in some cases to under 8 seconds. That's less than a goldfish. But worse than the biology is the identity it creates. When you can't sit with boredom, when silence feels unbearable, when a 2-minute task feels like climbing Everest, you start to believe a story about yourself, that you're broken, that you don't have what it takes, that other people are just built differently. That story is a lie that the algorithm told you, and you believed it. Here's the truth. The capacity you think you've lost is not gone. It's suppressed, and it can come back faster than you think. There's a term called a dopamine fast, and before you click off thinking it's some Silicon Valley wellness nonsense, hear me out. You don't need to quit everything forever. You need to interrupt the pattern long enough for your baseline to reset. Here's what actually works. 1. Delay the first hit. Don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes after waking. This is when your dopamine baseline is most vulnerable. The moment you check it, you've already lost the day. Your brain has been primed for reactivity, not creation. 2. Boredom is a skill. Train it. Sit in a room and do nothing for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, just you and your thoughts. This feels unbearable at first. That feeling is the resistance breaking down. Keep going. 3. Stack friction on low-quality stimulation. Make it harder to access your dopamine traps. Log out of apps, move them off your home screen, delete them, and re-download only when you consciously decide to use them. Your willpower is not the problem. Your environment is. 4. Replace, don't remove. Your brain needs stimulation. That's not a flaw. So give it a high-quality replacement. A hard book, a creative project, a physical challenge. Something that's difficult enough to demand focus and rewarding enough to feel good. You're not eliminating dopamine. You're redirecting it toward things that build you instead of drain you. Here's what I need you to understand before you close this video and go back to scrolling. The version of you that can focus, create, and follow through is not some ideal future self you have to earn. It's who you already are, underneath the noise. The fog you feel is not your personality. That's your brain begging for a break from the machine. You were not built to be a passive consumer of an endless digital feed. You were built to make things, to think deeply, to do things that matter. And the moment you remember that, really remember it, everything changes. Stop calling yourself lazy. Start calling it what it is, and then do something about it. If this hit differently than you expected, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more videos that actually explain what's happening inside your head and what to do about it, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.